and you're just kind of looking to see, can he hold that same pressure while also getting some help, because we've dealt with some inconsistencies out of players like Metals and Super.
Yeah, and what we saw in that last series, Super wasn't the same player that he was online.
No.
So you need to make sure that your AR is going to be felt on all of the respawns that you have. Because to start off on the Den, you need to beat them to the punch. LA were fantastic. Down by 100 versus FaZe. Just slowly but surely playing chip away with everyone starting to get more consistent in the slaying department. I don't think Abiz is going to go 1-15. So this should be a way better Den hard.
That's an easy wager right there, my man. Absolutely no chance he starts off that
smoke grenade. Unfortunate.
Yeah, so he's going to do some loadout work, and surely we'll get a little bit of a sacrifice around P1 to make sure that everyone's happy and well, and that will work out for Miami. 9-0 start. Rencor putting pressure towards Couches, but knows his limits and tries to find some ground to fight on, but Scrap will deny, and LA will reset.
Yeah, LA spawning over towards Couch's side. Have every single player up and ready to go, but they're still not getting any time off this P1. Now you need Hydra's route to be very impactful, and he gets absolutely nothing out of it. So Miami, a perfect start to this Den hard point. They haven't given up a single second at P1 and don't plan on doing it in the final 10.
Yeah, and you've already got Trakes on the rotation in that final 10. He's going to be in a 1v1 with Hydra, who sees him first and deals with it quickly. Abizi also able to find a couple as the exit from P1 is contested, and even though it was a pretty flawless P1, LA is set up perfectly for the second hill.
Yeah, they know exactly where Miami are coming from, but Neum chooses a very questionable route here, works his way through Boken, and thankfully you got Hydra watching that angle still. That leads to a clean forward dead, back spawns blocked, all of Miami trying to break through the front again.
And it's already being tested. Abizi, well-cooked nade, is able to find Super, plus a stun to make life easy on the battle versus Trakes. So, yeah, this will work. I mean, it's literally chef's kiss. Absolute perfection. 25 seconds to fight. Miami cannot just forfeit this time, so they're going for it, but they are getting absolutely manhandled on this rooftop approach, and look at the mini-map. Neum's already hitting the route. He's already set up on the guide heading towards P3.
And the one opportunity to get the back spawns, they can't even hit the time. You're forced to rotate early over towards the P3. Neum in a position to gather some early information. Can potentially give you kill number 2, but he gets taken care of by Trakes. So he's the only one off the rotation here for Miami. 2 players from LA actually decide to go for a repinch there, and that's a horrible play. Miami are going to be fully set up now.
Yeah, and you've got someone in Super watching for anyone to jump the mid-cut, so you can have double weapons focused, and we're just getting smokes all over the place here in this hard point. Jay, what is happening?
It's an issue, man. So sometimes the game might actually read that you have a stun, but every time you throw it, it's actually a smoke grenade, regardless if you keep on changing it. So hopefully we can just switch the class up so we can stop seeing smokes here on the hard point game, but that smoke leads to a Thieves break.
All right, that'll work for now, but Miami do have numbers, mostly sitting inside and around 10. LA working to flip the map around to touches. Miami will get at least one player. No, make it both towards Dojo to spawn up, and they are aware that Hydra could be playing on this flank. Also, just the time left in the hard point forces the rotation to be considered, and we'll deal with, well, about double the points-ish for LA as we jump over to P4, and Miami are in control to start.
Yeah, Rencor finds that kill off of Old. Now you know your team is in a 3v3 for the battle of the front. How long can you finesse her? How long is it going to take for Hydra just to break you down? He walks right through small room, lines up a double. Neum gets kill number 3. You're trying to block the back spawns. All you need to do is take care of Rencor, and that is fantastic plays out of LA.
Yeah, Hydra on 3 in a row, 10 and 5. Watching the cross from the interior, Easy nearby. Good help from Scrap makes this a perfect hold. LA up big, 35 seconds, and Miami are spawning in the worst position possible. Towards Couches, this is a tough decision on what route you want to take.
Yeah, this is tough, man. This is where you force Miami Heretics to truly be uncomfortable, because all season long, they can slay with the best of them. They usually put themselves in the driver's seat off the rotation, which is followed up by a great hold.
Unreal.
But when you're asking this team to break down some of these hard points, they are not doing it in sync. Going one by one, now getting slayed to bits. Hydra on 7 in a row, Abizi on 6 in a row. SMG takeover here for LA.
Yeah, you gotta hope that if you're Miami, you're not just getting like lost and that they've thrown smokes. Like,
regain,
brother. That's what I was about to say. Like, you just cannot lose composure off of it. So Miami desperately needing to find a way to come together, and maybe here on to P1. Hydra still slipping, sliding, finding kills. Super on 4 in a row, trying to bounce back, and those are impressive shots to get to 14 and 13 and potentially earn a Hellstorm of his own.
It's crazy because Miami only got 26 seconds off of that P1. 24 seconds came after the next 3 HPs. LA have dominated that first half, and when you're dominating, it's most likely going to lead to some hellstorms and the back pocket. You find the initial 2, but not a single player from Thieves in a position to get themselves into a time, so Miami withstand that and are still holding.
Yeah, it's Super, who again was still trying to play for that hellstorm, gets shut down by Abizi. Neum had everything in front of him, but doesn't come away with much. But Abizi is right there to pick up, man. I'm telling you, some days he just looks like one of the most flexible players in the CDL. He is currently 20-9, as Miami will essentially cut their losses in the remaining time of P1 and set themselves up for a P2 setup. But losing Rancor already has some question marks, but what's going to happen with the spawns with Abizi trying to flip?
And big shout out to the P1 HP for Miami, because without that, they're not in this game. But now you win the rotation over towards P2. You're just not going to expect Abizi to hit such a long route. He blocks those back spawns. At least he think he does, because you're not over towards that overload point. You get those back spawns if you're still Miami, and you're in a position again to contest.
Well, Hydra littering this approach from the backside of Garage. Nade making things difficult for him as Rancor is finally able to get the trade. Neum on 4 in a row. Again, also peppering this setup for Miami. He walks away with that final 2, making life very simple for the remaining Thieves inside the hard point. 155-81, and it just does not feel like the Miami Heretics that we know on this map have shown up yet.
You just can't get a break, man. Now you finally find yourself in a number situation. You got to make the most of it, but it's only for 15 seconds. You will gladly take that if you are LA. You just need to beat them to the punch off the rotation, and Scrap wins a big one-on-one, making another one-on-one, this time versus Super, to alleviate the pressure over at the new HP, but there's still one player unaccounted for. Trake's trying to make a big-time play. Yeah,
he's able to find 1, make that 2, plus neutralizing the trophy, and then steps up to get the 3rd. Okay, a little bit of momentum starting to come back together here for the Heretics, and boy, do they need it. Some question marks, though, on where the Thieves are spawning as nades are being tossed all over the map for info. Rancor watching the mid-cut, in some trouble, but wins the gunfight versus Abizi. And from the front, Metals, that works out nicely, leaving Thieves in pieces as they try to force this break attempt.
See, Miami just look like a way different team when they're the team initially in towards the hard point. But now you're forced to find a break, or at least keep it mixy at the ending of this P3. Rancor finds a double, Trakes comes off the respawn and gives you at least 1. But Miami looking at a flawless hold here at the P3 to someone keep themselves in this game.
Super has to make a play here, though, and he's been red. Good shutdown by Neum. It gets to within 50 points, but Miami are going to have to break, and they are taking all 4 members through Dojo. Hydra holding in a corner. He gets stunned. Should be a double slide out here, and it is, but Hydra's in a perfect spot, nearly gets both. Neum tagged, wants to get the trade, but values his life. Goes all the way back to table. Dragon spawns are still being blocked, though, as this hit from Miami continues to put pressure on the back. But Neum able to get the 3 in a row, and that will stabilize things for the Thieves, surely to get past the 200-point mark.
And now look what Miami are spawning, all the way out of couches, because Hydra is in this position at P2. You can't even get close towards this hard point. The fundamental play on the side of LA is outstanding. You're breaching that 200-point mark. Okay, you want to hit a long route? Go ahead. We are more than willing to give up those back spawns, because we've been uncontested for the first 40, and we might be able to walk away with this final 20.
Super has to win this battle. You cannot allow this last 15 to just freely go to the Thieves.
You gotta go, man.
Yeah, you sure do. Battle's able to step up to find 1, but Abizi gets 2 in return. He is on fire. 28 and 15. But the back 10 seconds will go neutral, but it's still roughly an 80-point game. As we make our way back to P1 again, it's just a tall ask here for the Miami Heretics to come back.
But they do have the numbers early on in these engagements. They also have presence at that mid-cut. You just need to fly your way on in for a very clean break. And at least for now, you're the team to soak up the time and get LA out of it. A 90-point difference. A tall ladder to climb to get yourself back into the mix. And I love that Trakes is able to spot that guy walking through the wall, because you are expecting Rancor to be ready for the fight, but Hydra still gives you 1.
Yeah.
Abizi and Neum apply pressure from couches. Now they get the break.
Yeah, and it's not even just the break. It's the fact that they have to force Miami to re-break through the hill and still flip spawns and then get the hard point if they want to see this map go their way. Again, it's a lot of obstacles to hurdle. And the kills continue to turn up in favor of LA as they look to put the finishing touches on this den, where literally Miami has just not really felt like they've loaded in as a group of 4. They just felt like they're in pieces every single hill we get to.
They can't find a break, man. And every time they are finding a break, it's for the final 15 seconds. You will gladly give that up if you are LA. Now looking to potentially put the finishing touches here on map number 1. Only need 15 seconds. Neum locks down couches. Abizi through the front line. All 4 dead. This is Steve's game.
Man, it just, this entire map, I think it's. I hate to just say it starts with the opening smoke accident, but it just never felt like Miami could get set up for anything.
At all.
Couldn't set up a 4-man hit for a break. Couldn't get themselves set up on rotation. They win a couple of gunfights with a couple of individuals. That's like, okay, cool. Now we've got numbers and we could brute force our way through a hill to get at least some time. But man, it just did not feel like the Miami that we've come to see on this map over the course of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that looked like the Miami from Major 1 instead of the Miami from Major 2. They have been so efficient with their kills whenever they find themselves in the power position. But LA Thieves, they just did the little things correct and forced Miami to be uncomfortable. A team was usually finding a lot of success in the rotation win, percentage, in the hold percentage, could never be the team initially to start it off. The only times that they were was back-to-back times at P1 and the one go-around where Trakes pops a 3 at P3. Other than that, you were always on the back foot, always forced to try to find a break, and they couldn't do it because they were consistently going one by one. Miami are never in that situation at hardpoint, but when they are, that's how uncomfortable it seems to be for them. LA take the opening map in dominant fashion with the BZ right in the wrong. Oh, was it 1-15, 34-18? That's the Abe I know.
Yeah, dude, he was 20-9 at one point in time and going on multiple 4+ streaks. Yeah, so, I mean, a little bit of wonkiness, seeing smokes being, accidentally tossed, whether it's, just wrong loadout or
players aren't doing it on purpose.
They're not doing it on purpose. Yeah. No chance. But, man, it's just, it felt really unsettled for Miami, really. And it's just, maybe part of it is, again, credit to Thieves. They're moving the spawns all over the place. You get 2 players spawning on one side of the map for Heretics and the other 2 spawn on the other side. It's just like, can we get together? Like, please, can we somehow find a way to group up? And then even when you do, you run into somebody watching a hard set angle where you're full flooding through a choke point. And, again, just the trades continue to go the way of LA time after time.
I would have loved to see Miami not consistently always playing for the back spawns of some of these hard points, because I would, if at that P4, you're wasting so much time pushing through Dojo. Okay, we got the trade on the Hydra, but now we got to fight another wave of Neum sitting on the backside of Pillar. If this push gets shut down, it's already 30 seconds wiped off of this hard point, and now we're forced to commit towards front. It's like you were always late to the punch, not really making the best plays you could in the situation, and these are capitalized on it because of the SMGs creating so much space. Great in the map number 1 for LA. Now looking for a response on the search and destroy is going to be Miami. This is bread and butter for them. You know how impactful Super Sniper can be, but LA have been finding a recent form of a lot of success here on Scar ever since they allowed everyone to be free and Neum to just switch between the AR, SMG, or the Sniper. He's been having a really big impact.
I think it's just interesting, though, because as much as Neum has been able to change the dynamic of what LA throws in any particular round, playing up against Miami, you're 90% of the time playing up against Super Sniper.
Exactly.
And it's not even just like, okay, we can't peek the hard scope angles. You can't peek anything because he will run at you with the sniper rifle and still find kills with it. So there are definitely moments here in terms of how do you build advantages if you're Miami. It just comes down to will they show up, because there in map number 1, they couldn't get anything going. And if that continues to be the case in map 2 here, it could be LA just unrelentingly running it down their throats.
And that'll be insane to say, man, because everything that you watch online, you're expecting Miami to be prepared, especially for this map versus this squad. When you got a player of this guy's caliber that's about to pop up on your screen, you should be really confident that he's single-handedly potentially going to put you over the hump, because his impact with the sniper, there's no one else in the league fairly even close to this guy.
Not even close. There is a look at some of the statistics. S&D just on land, keep that in mind. I was like, 3rd and snipes, what are we talking about? Oh, that's just this on land, that's just on land. But 2 big clutches. Most importantly, it's, again, just his ability to provide a first blood. And usually Miami will hold that advantage because it's coming by way of a snipe. And just on top of that, Super just doesn't dial that often because he's usually out sniping you and then doing what he wants. So, I don't know. You hate to just point the finger and throw the weight of the world onto one player, but if Super could be the catalyst early, that's going to do wonders, I think, for this Miami team to just recover after that map 1.
That's just how they have played, man. They have been playing around Super, so we have to talk about this guy being the X factor for this team, because his impact with the sniper is out of this world. All throughout March, he's sitting at 8-2, 60% chance at finding the opening dual win percentage. Attacking rounds number 1, defending rounds number 2, and the majority of that is because you're the team early in the man-up advantages. You got to make sure that you're playing for that, or at least counter that if you are LA. Neum, you need to chow him.
All right. That's the setup. We'll see what unfolds as Miami will be on the opening defense. LA looking to get aggressive with some setups here at mid. Oh, and Super's able to collat right through it. Trakes goes to feel things out. It's like a little bait and switch, but from afar, and Super's collat has Miami with the numbers, and the pistol whip comes through, and now Super's looking for all four.
Looking for the ace, and you know the last man standing is going to be Neum. Usually rocks the snipe in hand, but has an M15 on this round. Knows that the bomb is going to be down towards mid, and not a single player from Miami are forcing a one-on-one. They're just trying to gather info before all those arrows turn.
Well, that's free. Super! What?
Oh, nah.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's delusion and then there's super. I'll tell you, that is just not a chow you're going to see often. I'm glad we get it from the final kill perspective.
Dude.
It looks nasty from the opposite viewpoint. Looked just as nasty in slow motion.
The thing is that about that chow right there, I tip it so much for Super because players like Sid, who's a sniper for his team, he would instantly just jump that corner and not really put himself in a position to get out of the fight. It's like if Super doesn't hit that shot, no matter, I'm still alive. But the guy finds the opening ace. Most impactful player for Miami, specifically in Search and Destroy, and he gets it done.
Show of force here for Thieves. Setting someone up at P1. That stun check will reveal it. Hydra says not interested. So he and Neum will make a play through the plane. Straps on first blood. Super on the quick scope. Not quite able to lock things up, and it's an early 4v2 for the Thieves.
And they're not going to force anything. When they have the numbers, everyone's just going to back down from their power spots. You're more than willing to give the bomb plant to Miami in a 4v2. So Trakes and Rencourt need to find a kill, but it's not going to be easy because these aren't giving up anything.
Nah, I'm wondering if Rencourt went up top to pick up the scope, though. Yeah, he sure did. Sees one of the jump.
See the glare?
Should have.
The peek.
Yeah, secondary shoulder, slide across, and that will confirm the scope. Thieves pinching things up, but Scrap gets caught. Trakes a smoke to manipulate some space here over the top of P5, and hold on a second, he almost gets the jump onto Hydra, not the case. So it's all rest with Rencourt for the 1v3. Nade cooked. Some damage will be confirmed, but he can't find Hydra until eventually he's able to blow him off the map. Follow up, hold on a second, 1v1. Scope out, over the top, no! And the time will expire for the plant, and that will be around going to LA. I'll tell you, got close.
Oh, Rencourt almost lines that shot up. Thankfully, Neum said, I'm just going to get out of Dodge. You can't work the bomb plant. We're not going to give up a 4v2 this early into the game, but LA Thieves respond with a defense of their own. Scrap finds the first blood. You're able to isolate onto Super on the pitch with two players on that positioning over towards plane. And in the 4v2, you don't force anything else. You're all back up and a lot of time to be your friend. You know it does get scary. It's still 1-1.
Ooh, lots of nades here for LA. Does it reveal this play forward for Miami? Sure seems to have. But do they anticipate the second? They sure will. Perfect from LA, counteracting some early Miami aggression on the defense, and you also get scrapped through P2. So that'll work. Yeah, okay. Perfectly read, perfectly executed, flawless round for LA.
And you see Neum letting the team know, providing some energy. You gather early information with your stuns and nades that they were going to be the aggressors over towards plane. You find the first blood, you instantly find the second, and in the 1v4 versus one of the straightest shooters we have in the league, in Rencourt. The rookie puts him down like it's nothing. LA with 2 rounds in a row.
That's a hell of a chow from Neum, bro.
Good shots.
That's a hell of a chow. So Miami trying to get aggressive, but the conditioning of LA will start to be established with that pushback. And now Neum, trying to show some aggression of his own. Stun check will land. Hydra able to find first blood onto Trakes. And Hydra maybe trying to get more, but Metals will trade. Super contested as Easy keeps the pressure up. And LA have full map control here in Miami, are struggling to get, again, anything going.
That's another situation where you lose those first couple of fights and now you're forced to commit over towards B. A minute left to go. Both players going to put themselves in one-on-one situations. Metals trying to locate where Abizi is, but Abizi gets out of dodge. You keep the numbers in favor of Thieves. No need to do anything else.
Yeah, just stack up at A, play the retake at B if you have to. 40 seconds to go. Metals seen, damaged, and finished. So if you're Rencourt, do you look for kills first? Sure seemed to have. He should have a freebie onto Neum. Waits for the perfect opportunity and converts. But from here on out, it's going to be difficult to commit a plant. Gives himself a chance by changing the angle, but Scrap is watching it the entire way. And LA grow their lead.
And the most impactful player had all of his impact be felt in round number 1. Ever since then, LA Thieves are just not allowing Super to be comfortable. You usually expected Miami to have this slow and steady round so Super can gather some information before they decide to make the play. But they are just taking the game to them, finding so much success in the first blood column. And when Super's putting us in a position to try to get the trade, you're just not expecting them to be as far pushed up on the map as they are. You're forcing them to be uncomfortable just like you did it at Hardpoint. 3 rounds in a row there for LA.
It almost feels like, and we've seen a couple of teams try this, but LA are really not getting away from it. If like, yeah, Super's going to hit some quick snipes, they're going to be impressive, but the chances are if we just keep running at him, he's not going to hit everything.
Yeah.
So get him out of position, give ourselves a chance off of the objective mostly. That's the same thing once again. Easy, nice shots onto the first, damage onto the second, slips away, has cover from Hydra, and that's going to be enough to allow the opportunity to plant.
Man-up advantage still in favor of the Thieves. You see Scrap put himself in a position so he can keep Hydra alive. Smoke grenade gets invested, and that helps Trace net gunfight 2v2.
He's still alive as well. Looking for the regen and the reload. Rancor stuck in the action, and now bounce out from Hydra, but no. Drake stays alive. His secondary now, Smoke's now in play, but no, just nowhere to go. And I love that from LA. Put the pressure on, Super has to back off. Okay, he's not sniping at mid, so BZ can challenge top green. Beautiful stuff from LA, great understanding.
And that was a good presence of LA looking like the players that they used to be.
Yeah.
Hydra this time said, nah, BZ, you're used to be the king of the first blood. Let me just put you on that island player on that side. I'll try to get this objective down. He finds the timing to get one and get out of dodge, and then Hydra instantly picks up kill number 2 and then instantly puts the bomb down. So a BZ making his impact felt, and that's 4 rounds in a row where Sniper out of Super has yet to be felt. You need this guy to stay alive longer than 10 seconds.
Correct. He got an ace in round 1 and nothing since. And now it's 5-1, or pardon me, 4-1 to LA. Miami trying to set up a little bit of a set in here towards mid. That will work. Scrap sniping this round. Looking for something through SAT, but Bomb is still waiting for the go call here today.
And finally, Miami get the first blood, and it's on the back of Super, so makes his impact be felt in this round. But are you going to expect the crawl spot out of Hydra?
Oh,
he
man.
gives you 1 plus another. Instant 2v2, and then Neum on the pitch makes it a 2v1.
Yeah, Trakes, I believe, over the top saw Hydra, but he needs to play for the bomb. He's able to collect at least that, but maybe missed a chance at an even 1v1. And now down low. Nice shots, able to find the first. Slips away, no immediate trade. Neum hunting for it as Trakes will get back to 100 health. And we may just determine this on timing right now as Neum is looking to see, can he catch Trakes playing through P4? Now moving back over to A, doesn't fully see him. Bomb being planted. Does Neum get here in time to catch him on the plant? Yeah, sure will. And that'll be 3 in a row for Neum, but a 5-1 count for LA.
It's 5 rounds in a row for LA. Even when Super finds success in that first blood category, and then you get 1 extra, turn it into a 4v2. You're just not expecting the crawl route out of Hydra at top motel. He gives you a double, turns it into a 2v2. It draws the attention from the rest of your teammates to try to commit to get that trade, and that opens up the flank angle there from Neum. Turn it into a 1-on-1, get the timing there on Trakes. And Miami are looking like a way different team than they did in qualifiers.
Yeah, I'll say. I don't know, man. It's just interesting because, you know, we were sitting watching the Paris matchup, and it's just like they're in every single map, just didn't have the ice, and like that's going to happen. Paris is a solid team, but here it just feels like they can't get themselves going in any form. Scrap gets the first on the medals. You saw a couple other Heretics members at A, so you don't need to force this. Neum's already taken away the B part of the map, and Miami look lost. They have no idea this is happening.
Hey, you're just going to wait for Neum to work this late pinch. It's basically going to be a GG. Already a 4v2 as Hydra finds an extra. Neum is called out. There's no one over towards Motel. Finally there is, and I'll get him.
What
happened? But
happened?
it's a 1v4, make it a 1v none. LA dominate. 6 rounds in a row in the search to destroy, and now up a commanding 2-0 lead versus Miami.
Man, what's happening?
telling you, COD is so day-to-day, but online to LAN is a completely different story.
Yeah. Well, the thing, again, is just like I guess we could use the same threading storyline for both these two teams. Like, they both come off of a tight series loss. And one of two things we could say very easily can happen. Either number one, you say, shit, we had this series. We're in this. We've started the series against FaZe with one of our best players, 1 in 15, and we still won the map. We could do anything, and that kind of builds a little bit of a rally cry. Where on the other side, Miami's probably sitting here like, we nearly had the overload. We nearly had the final exposure hard point. We should have won that series, and they almost look deflated. And then you come out map 1, you can't get anything set up. That's got to play on your mind. And then you come back into the search and destroy like, okay, we're chilling, Super got an ace, but nothing else happens after that point.
Just looking at those numbers, the fact that Miami Heretics, one of the best teams in opening duels, only find 1 first blood.
Yeah, true.
Big shout out to Super in that category, but everything else was just dominated by LA. You were expecting to see Neum with the sniper, but no, with Scrap with the sniper. And that's probably due to just Neum being a lot more comfortable on the map with the M15 and just reading what Miami were doing.
Sure.
Like, no, I'm going to continue to take this face away because they're giving it up for free. If you want to snipe, go ahead. But I'm going to run alongside my SMGs and create those openings. And it was Hydra able to find 3 first bloods. Scraps follows us up with 2. But that's just a dominant search and destroy there from a team in Miami who I was expecting to be one of the top team in S&D. They get rolled over.
Agreed. Wow. How quickly the day has changed here, friends.
Super fast.
Exposure overload coming up next. And when Miami first tried to insert this map into their pool, it was not great. But they have improved a ton. I think most notably at the end of their qualifier run, they really showed us their ability to not just successfully get reads and defend, but more importantly, score and score a lot. It just doesn't feel like that Miami team that we saw has shown up in this particular series. I think they did show up versus Paris, weren't able to ice. I've said that 15 times. You guys already know that. But here it's just like they cannot get left foot, right foot, move forward. It's like it's forward, not straight right now for Miami, and they can't find either direction.
For a team that always finds a lot of success by being the team initially to make these plays, to being the team first off the rotation, great in first blood categories, you have yet to find success in both of those. And now you're down 0-2 on the brink of elimination. You got to fight.
Man, tough scenes. It's a tough part of the bracket, but one of our teams is starting to really show up and say that they want it. Miami need to find that energy. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, exposure overload right after this.
Black Ops 7 returns to the Esports World Cup in Riyadh this summer. Scan the QR code to be notified when tickets go live later this month. Start the season strong with the 2026 Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL operator by scanning the QR code on screen or check it out in the Call of Duty store in-game now. Scuff, official controller of the CDL.
Shotzzy was trying to join him, but Kleenex shut that down. Good damage on the Hook on the flank. Kleenex just going to go ahead and take his advantage and grab the EMP. You still have a couple of players who are guarding over here towards the A side of the map. Jodecides in particular just has to hold his life. Pistol works out for Kleenex, and it's a 4-4 game. Minute 20 on the clock. EMP will reset up top, but Toronto find kills. They should be able to contest.
And that's 3 dead as well, so now it's all on Dashy. The only player pushed out towards bottom. Solar is going to be sniffed out by Insight, and now you got Kleenex using this on the offense. You can't run out of P4. You were forced to give up this score for free. 3 in a row for Boyd. They got the lead.
You do have mid-map control for Optic, trying to set something up around the next EMP location. Joe up and over, 3 in a row for him. But Optic come away with 3 straight kills, and they've got a free pathway to rise through. Are we joking? What are we talking about? It's just counter snapping for counter cap. 5-5, 45 seconds on the clock, and we reset to mid.
And Optic had mid-map control as well. So if you're a core, you got to check every single corner or find effective trades. Shotzzy already finds the first, tries to pick up the EMP and get out of dodge, but he gets knocked down 30 seconds.
Yeah, and you still have a couple of players for Optic pushed forward. Toronto need to clear this out. Trades coming through. Kill feed starting to look good for Optic. Do they want to try to make a play for a score, or do you let this 20 seconds bleed out and you play a 4v4 with map positioning? Their call.
Shotzzy is just going to take an extra layer, unfortunately get caught, but it's probably going to come down to an overtime. Boy, actually put the EMP in their possession, or Fleet is just going to die at the right time. So it's going to be a 4v4.
TDM. 1 life remains for all 8 players. 2 minutes on the clock. If you hold the EMP with tied numbers, the team possessing would win.
But we have not seen that ever in an extended overtime like this. So this is about critically not making any mistakes.
Who decides to be the one to take the first risk? Hercules locking on this side of the map. He's able to spot out Pips, and the trophy's going to block that frag from having any impact. It's already been 30 seconds wiped off of the overtime, and neither team is willing to scale.
The thing about this, though, the later the clock goes, if Toronto is going to just back off and not try to give anything away. Oh! I'm going to say, I don't think could just grab the EMP from away, but now it's going to force the transfer in 3v3. Chauncey on the flank, but Kipps is going to get a read onto it. Joe trying to put some pressure, but here comes Kleenex on the side. He's going to blindside Chauncey, but Kipps also falls. A 2v2, 60 seconds on the clock, and watch out for Dashy. Oh my goodness, does he have the timing? Down low towards window, finds one, and it's on the Kleenex. He has been everything for Toronto in this map, and would have to win things on a huge 1v1 win. 50 seconds.
45 seconds left to go, and Kleenex might have put himself in a position.
Does he commit to it, Hercules? Oh, that slide. He sees it.
He's out here.
He's just going to grab and score. There's no way Kleenex gets back in time. Surely not. Does he have anything? No, he doesn't. And Hercules with the run seals the 3-0 for Optic for the first time in England in a long time.
Hey, we love a good exposure overload. We've already seen a handful already on the weekend, a one-day weekend so far. But for Miami, we just have not. I'm having a really tough time right now, Jay. Mostly because, like, talking about the online qualifiers, obviously you knew what you're going to get out of Optic. Your Parises, your Phases, your Thieves, all kind of split the difference, losing against teams they shouldn't lose against, beating good teams here and there. Miami was the only other team that really showed up and said, hey, we're here to fight. But after losing to Paris, it just feels like the life is just out of their lungs right now.
It's got to be tough, man, because you lose every single respawn versus Paris. You were able to clutch up in the search and destroy, which everybody expected, but all the other respawns went down to the wire. You just didn't have that clutch scene that you usually find yourself having all throughout Major 2 qualifiers. Now you're down 0-2 versus LA, and the first two maps have been one-sided, no question. Miami are consistently put in an uncomfortable position and have yet to bail themselves out of it. Now you're going into an overload on exposure where we have seen these guys play. They've been trying to add it to the map pool and have shown improvements as of recent, but just the way that they have been playing these first two maps and the uncomfortability that LA are putting them in, Miami need to come out the gates and have one of those fantastic breakoffs that lead to a quick 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and here's a look kind of back at some of the key players in the head-to-head matchup. Neum, again, like you talked about, and like the desk has talked about a handful of times, you know, LA needed someone to fill the gaps, you know, kind of be the glue and make a play when you can see the opportunity to make a play. And Neum's brought that to the table in a lot of ways. Overload in particular has been a big boost for not just him, but also for Thieves in general. But going into a Scar, no, right? Are we
Exposure.
We're Exposure, right? I'm not crazy.
Might be Scar. I don't know.
I could have sworn the series layout said Exposure. Are we blasted?
All right, I guess so.
All right, bad. That's what happens when they sprint us over from one stage to the other. We're just kind of
Instant.
picking up the pieces. Okay.
Reads Exposure, but
Reads Exposure,
I'm seeing
sees
the Scar
Scar.
loaded. All right, it is.
Let's go. That's what we said the whole time. It's an illusion, a mirage. Let's jump into it. The desert of Exposure playing tricks on us. As the opening breakoff, relatively slow, waiting for nades to connect. Trakes will grab one, but Hydra, nice little route here, has him pushing for space. Can't quite track down the kill, though, and everything will stay neutral.
Yeah, it's a battle for mid-map still. Ian makes it an easier engagement for his teammates coming off the respawn because you know Super is somewhat in our spawn, but I don't know if he lagged out there. Scrap is able to find that kill for free. And now he lines up a collat for 3 dead, and your lead blocker is Abizi. He gets this kill. This is an early score for LA.
And I'll tell you, again, just watching Abizi the first 2 maps coming out slow, you worry about his confidence, but a shell like that, yeah, he knows he's still got it. Pistol for Scrap on 4 in a row. Lots of damage out, but he's away for a little bit of help, and he's going to get it from Hydra around the back. And yeah, that should work out. Damage is through. No chance, and Scrap's going to be on 5 with a score. He may have a Hellstorm, and yeah, he already does.
Yeah, he already earned it. He was able to stop the EMP carrier, go 3 dead, retrieve the EMP, and then get the score plus a kill. So a fantastic start there for LA. set the tone early on, but Miami are looking for a response. They're just not winning the gunfight. To get it, you go 2 for 1 in the trade fights. Metals was thinking, all right, mid-cut should be all clear to now, but knocked down a 7 HP in the Dream, can't get the better of Hydra, and now LA on the offense.
Miami looked frustrated. It's just like they're trying to put together the same things that we've seen them find success with, but just cannot get that last bullet, that one kill they need to turn things around. In LA are just running through them now. I'll tell you, follow up from Scrap, he's gonna put the second score and get a couple of pistol kills on top of it. Miami need to recover, and they need to recover quickly.
Yeah, this is looking nasty. Like Miami Heretics, where is the team that has came into this tournament with the second seed? The squad who went on 6, almost 7 series wins in a row to end out Major 2 qualifiers. They're looking like you're gonna roll over and die here. You need to show some fight. You got Matale, AKA Metals, in the spawn on 3 in a row, can only find 1. And not a single player on your squad has the EMP in their possession. So again, you're forced to just stabilize.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Just it feels so uncoordinated for Miami. It's like you get a lead blocker forward. Middleton is in a spot to obviously move spawns around, but he's got no help, no support. And now we're just kind of desperately grabbing the EMP, needing to win some part of the map back. 2:30 on the clock here for the half. Not over yet, but it just feels out of sorts right now for Miami. They need a moment.
They desperately need a cap to give themselves a chance or some momentum going forward in the rest of this overload. They do find the opening kill. Now your lead blocker and Super is trying to give you one extra over at the B site, but it's Hydra on the pinch. Neum from the front makes it a 2v2, and now it's a 1v1. Hydra should get the stop, or he's not prepared for Renkor's route. Miami get on the board.
Yeah, and that's, I won't even say a definite moment. It's just they take advantage of the opportunity in front of them, but I want to see something from Miami that's in some way resembling the Miami team that we came to know. Not even just in the online qualifiers, but just even in moments that they were able to have versus Paris earlier today. And maybe something's starting to brew here. Neum stuck in the corner. Clean kill feed for Miami, and they should be able to contest and possess the EMP for a chance to set up an offensive chance.
Yeah, wrap the EMP all the way towards B side. Number 2 in Renkor, you need to be lead blocking already at Solus, but takes his sweet time on the approach. That allows LAT to instantly be off the respawn, back in a position to stop this. Now your MP carrier and Super is just trying to buy you his life. Only 8 HP in the Dream, and all that time you waste, Thieves make the most of it.
Yeah, that's even right there in that example, a moment that you just don't see often from Miami, where it's like we're not working on resetting the EMP, flipping things back, and working on an extended route towards A. It's just we're trying to force something forward. I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel like the Miami that we've come to know. But still only down 1, 60 seconds. And if they find a way to tie this half, we could be cooking with the brand new Heretics mentality into the second 5 minutes.
Yeah, I just think Miami need to switch up their pacing. This is a team who loves to run and gun with the best of them. And right now, they're consistently on the back foot, but finally an opportunity where they can try to tie the game on up. Metals gives you 1, but everyone else is dropping like flies. Now Super is trapped between a rock and a hard place. Does give you 1 and gets back to his team, but it's not going to lead to a score. 30 seconds.
Trades are out, though. Abizi can't really contest from topside mid. The spawns for LA are all the way deep towards B, so EMP will be in hand. Scrap shut down. Does still have a Hellstorm if things get mixy. And now you're starting to develop an opportunity here. Metal's going to be able to shut down 1 on the pinch. Everything else focused on the front, but nades will be the only thing that trades. Renkor waiting for 1 more kill out of Trace. He's having a tough time finding the player around the corner. And as Renkor drops this half, very well manned, but no, last second LA able to get the EMP and giving themselves an extra 30 seconds for 1 more try.
They're banking on Neum. Neum is going to be the lead blocker over towards A, but he does let 1 player slip on by, and he loses his one-on-one. So now you got to hit the audible. Abizi on the opposite side does win his one-on-one gunfight. Hydra tries to set the tone, but only 10 seconds left. You have to now commit towards B.
If you look at the spawns, though, for Miami, they're down towards A.
Where are they?
Metals is caught. Metals is caught, trying to rotate back. It's just down to Renkor. He's taking a world of hurt. Here comes the follow-up. Scrap's going to score. And it's, again, a moment like you're talking about where just Miami are just not reading the game right now.
This is not the Miami Heretics I was expecting when we had this series in front of us. Like, you have 2 of the top teams that can potentially slay with the best of them. One of them are outstanding at search and destroy. The other team is working on their S&D, but they have shooters all across the board. It's just right now, Miami, like you said, my friend, looking out of sync, looking like they're consistently playing from the back foot and are playing with no confidence right now. You need to put it together very quickly. Because as you take a look at these highlights again, it was a perfect break off here for LA. You go 3 for none trades. Your lead blocker Nabizi finds the 4th. and you quickly get your first one on the board in the first minute of the game, and you got to keep in mind they still have a Hellstorm.
Yeah.
So Miami have to play at a totally different pace.
They need some confidence. They need some energy. We'll see. Hydra, route.
Oh, it's
easy.
GG.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
over,
GG.
brother. We're lost right
GG.
now, man. I don't know. It just, I'm telling you, it just feels like this Miami team has been so deflated from that Paris series. They just look like they are not reading things well. Rencor is just so far away from the play that he's going to have to try to hold things at mid. He does at least get the shutdown of the EMP carrier, so that little bait and switch trying to fake out Miami not going to work, and maybe a chance here for the Heretics with numbers.
Nah, that's all 4 dead. You just can't allow the first player off the respawn for Thieves to find a very impactful kill, and Neum does just that. He just doesn't pick the right one. And Miami get their second on the board. Starting to show some fight here. Reset is going to be over towards Tanky. You currently don't have a single player in the position, and this should guarantee a score for
Yeah,
LA.
definitely should. Can anyone for Miami catch somebody before this Hellstorm comes down? Trying to use the panels as metals, but he gets found out, and Scrap's going to take down 2. Easy counter cap. It's a 4-2 advantage as Rencor tried to respond with a Hellstorm of his own, but it's just too late.
And now that Hellstorm is used for no apparent reason. You would have loved to say that if you were Miami going for an offensive attack, but you use it for defense and they still get the score in. Now you have the EMP in your possession, but you don't take care of the guy who just got the capture in, or you quickly do because Rencor wraps it on back. This should lead to a very quick score for Miami. Now down 1.
Okay, that's the first convincing moment, though, and for me in this map
Finally.
for Miami. And even on that Hellstorm, like, I think a lot of people would be fine going Hellstorm for Hellstorm, but it felt like Rencor didn't know if he wanted to do it at all, and it just the call comes in too late. So you're lucky to still be down 1. You've got Rencor through, but he's going to have to be the miracle man, breaking down this Thieves setup from behind, and he gets read by Hydra. Now Neum, other side of the map, playing forward as LA look to grow their lead by another again.
And Neum knows, all right, gather all of the information. They're spawning so far away at the A point. We might just be able to commit and get this down at A, but your EMP carrier overcommits through mid-cut and gets taken down. So now Hydra, you need to get more than just 1 kill for you to stand a chance at a score. Eventually gets cut down. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to work with, but Thieves are now rotating towards A.
And Metals tries to step up to be the first defender, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Now you've got trophy system support for LA. You just use your numbers to flood through, and you cannot get the damage done in time. That's just not something we've seen from Miami. They don't make plays like that. They haven't in weeks.
They're just allowing LA to dictate how this game is going to be played, what the pacing is going to be looking like. And since you're always late to the party on some of these routes, you're consistently going to be down in that score.
Man.
You're not even finding kills off of players camping in the corners. So Rencor loses that fight. You find the opening kill. If you're LA, you might be able to quickly get another one on the board.
Yeah, BZ, big win. Putting down 1 player at panels, but the back and forth affair comes away with Miami the numbers. Hydra on the pitch, shuts down the EMP carrier, and it's going to force Super to have to sit and play his life. He's not even able to do that. Minute 45 on the clock. Miami, the team who needs to have the urgency, and Scrap is going to grab and retreat. Bus not being parked yet, but it's okay, yes it is. It's being parked.
Shouldn't be, though. Like, if you're LA, we're just looking for the first kill so we can eventually work out of our base, because on a map like Exposure where the spawns can catch you off guard, you don't really want to take these kind of risks, but you keep on moving. You keep on drawing the attention on one side of the map, and now you get the information if you're BZ. There's so many players towards ring. Let's go B.
But Scrap gets caught. Rencor's double saves what would have been a free run. Neum caught from behind. Opportunity here for Miami. You've got 2 players pushed up, but the spawns are through mid. Does anyone get on the angle in time to stop this? No. So it's going to be a 1-score affair. Miami quick off this capture is playing behind too, so hold on a second. There's an opportunity in a world where Miami could get this thing tied.
They just need to find the kills that they are looking for. Metals is the only player to light up that kill feed in the right color. Super eventually gives you 1 extra, so for now it's about stabilizing on the map, but this is where Neum and the BZ's impact could be felt. Map control in favor of LA, and you're still finding players off the respawn.
Yeah, and if BZ and Neum can manifest another score, it would put this map out of question. But Miami come away with a couple of kills. Neum stuck at mid-map. Not able to find too much. Hydra on the pinch is behind this play. Can he find the EMP carrier? No, not quite yet, but the play from front will be stalled. And you have to commit here. You've got to find a way to get this through. Scrap's able to give you 2. Trakes in some trouble to win the pistol battle. Does he have a chance to still score this? He's trying to run. Neum behind him. He turns. The kill is there. Final 5 seconds before the overtime comes in. Miami, you're going to have the numbers. Trakes is going to wait for support. There's the extra 30. It's going to be a 4v4 over the top of the A site. Trophy system down. 2 players. The drop of the EMP carrier will drop as well. And LA 3-0 Heretics out of the tournament.
A beautiful response from LA after letting that series go versus FaZe. You were up 2-0. You just needed the overload to get it done, but you quickly shake off that loss and you get the better of Miami on the day. What was this, Scrap? Back in the day in challenges playing against some Spanish players? Oye, yo soy tu papá. That's exactly what Scrap was able to do in this series alongside everyone else. Everyone provided their 25%, and Miami just looked out of sync as soon as we spawned into map number 1. The worst I've ever seen them, and unfortunately for them, they're going home top 8.
Yeah, man, it's just, this is an event that, if you're a Miami fan or if you're just an avid CDL fan, mark this loss in your mind, because this feels like something that for Miami could either give you a launching pad, be like, yo, we cannot let that kind of affair happen again, or it could be a breaking point for them. Just due to the fact that you established so much dominance in retrospect towards qualifiers, you come out and you battle what is a good Paris team. I know that their online record may not have supported that statement, but let's be honest, them on land, they're a good team.
Major 1 chance.
Absolutely. But you don't survive through a couple of the nail biters and the respawns like you had mentioned. You only get the search and destroy, and then you come out flat-footed against Thieves, and you just are never able to get back into the mix. You're never able to bounce back and say, okay, we took a loss here on this hard point. Let's just jump in, get a grip of 4. They just looked lost and scattered.
It's like everything that Miami showed up to this point was out the window.
Yeah.
They were the team that set the pace in hard point, can outslay them, even in situations where they don't find themselves on the preferred side. They were always keeping it up in the slay department. You could not do that in map number 1 because you were spawning so far away with all the pressure that aBeZy and Hydra were putting on the map to put you in those positions, to make you uncomfortable. Then you get to the search and destroy, which has been the backbone for this team. First round, very successful. An ace out of Super, finds a collat. You're thinking, all right, this is the turning point we're looking for. But after that first blood, you don't get a single one, and not even a round after that. So it's just you're putting Miami in these difficult situations, and they have yet to be able to figure it out. Unfortunately, you don't have any more time to figure it out here. You got to go back home and be prepared, or at least start it up for Major 3.
Yeah, I feel like for Miami, the recovery in this downtime between here and when Major 3 qualifiers start is, we need to just mentally be stronger.
Yes.
I mean, flat out. I think just based on what we saw, again, to hit it one more time here, between the online qualifiers against great teams and winning, and a tight series versus Paris, you got all the right tools in the shed. It just comes down to putting the right carpenter to use those tools. And right now, it just kind of feels like for Miami, they get hit, and they get hit hard, they stumble, they get dazed. You just can't afford to have that happen in the caliber of what our league is right now.
And that's the difference between top teams. We saw LAT go down 100 points versus FaZe.
Yeah,
they had a guy go 1-15. But with the players and the mindset that they have, they know that the game is not officially over until it says 250 on the opposite side. It seemed like Miami, ever since that loss versus Paris, completely came in here and just didn't look like the same team. A squad who's dominant of rotations couldn't really find success in the hard point. A squad who's